Hi there, Stampers. It's Linda Schmitt with Stampin' with the Houndz. Thanks for stopping by. I know it's been a bit of a while since I had a video. I was actually traveling for my day job, my work. So I am finally back in the stamp room. It's kind of like I kind of lost my little mojo there after you don't do anything for several weeks. But anyway, I'm back and I'm continuing with my Fun Fold series. And on this one, I am doing variations of the Z-fold. And this one that we're going to do today, I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. One will be a landscape way, and I am calling this kind of like a Peekaboo card with like an inside reverse kind of Z-fold. It's been around for quite a while, and I've done this fold before for classes and stuff, but it's kind of a nice refresher just to do some of these folds and remember them. So again, this is that landscape, and this is using some of our new designer series paper. This is called Wildly Flowering. And then I've got my stipple plaid background, and then we're using some of the Simply Zinnia dies in a stamp set. So again, it just kind of, you've got that little window, and then you've got your little Z-fold for the inside. So it's kind of a neat little, kind of like almost like a trifold card in a way. And these you can, and I think I may go back and decorate some of these back panels just to, I don't know, just to use up your designer series paper. But we're going to be doing a version of this one today. And then I wanted to show you some of my other samples that I've been doing. So that was the landscape. And then the other one that we're going to do today is a portrait one. And this time I'm using some of our note cards. So this is that brushed metallic gold note cards, which is an online, I think that's on, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's online exclusive or for these. And you get 20 of them, and they're kind of a nice way, just kind of, it's got a little bit of that foil shine. It's on the front and the back. And then it has really pretty coordinating envelopes too that go with it. And what's nice about these, because sometimes those note cards are like, they're either a little bit longer or kind of a different size, but this is a standard A2, so you get these envelopes with them. So it's kind of pretty. These would be great for like Christmas too, but I was kind of using this kind of a fall card. So again, we're going to do a version. This is the portrait, and this time I did a circle punch instead of the hexagon or the heartfelt hexagon punch. And again, I'm using that Simply Zinnia, and then that Wildly Flowering designer series paper. And then this is using a lot of our in colors. So this is that Moody Mauve, the Wild Wheat, and then some Early Espresso, which is a neutral color. So there's that one. So I just punch out that circle, and then I reused it for the inside. So it's kind of a neat way of doing it. So again, there's that reverse Z fold, and then that's the portrait. So we're going to do a version of that one. But I wanted to show you some of my other samples. So again, this is another one using that note card. And then this is that new set. It's called Happiest Day. It's kind of cute. It's got some really fun sayings. And then the adorable little dragonfly. And then the rainbows, and then your sun for your images. So it's kind of a cute little set. So again, on this one, I did some of the in colors. I did that boho blue, and the misty moonlight, the bubble bath, and moody mauve. And then I did always artichoke. And then I did some gold ink on there. So on this one, again, I've got my little dragonflies, and then I did my little embossing on the circle. And then there's my Z-fold. So I did some more embossing with the sun. And that, so it's kind of fun. And then I did that little stars behind the little dragonfly. So I thought it was kind of cute. So that's another one, kind of completely changing the look. And then here's a landscape one using the Charming Duck Pond. And this one I did that hexagon punch. And on this one, instead of having, you know, like a circle being my focal point and on that Z-fold, these I just did more of like a window. So I've got my decor and stuff on the outside. And then when you open it, I decorated the back here. I got my little frogs. And then I did some of, I texturized this like a retired folder, but I did some of our glimmer paper. And then there's the little Z-fold. And I didn't decorate any of these on the back side, but, so that's another one. So it's another way of doing it. Cute. I just love that set. Those little frogs, they're so adorable. And then here's one using our one of our other newer sets. This is Scenic Pumpkin Patch, and I'm going to be doing some more samples because this is another one that I'm not seeing very many people creating cards with it. So I'm going to come up with some fun ones because I do love my pumpkins and I love fall. But this is using the pumpkins from there. And again, on this one, it's another landscape. This one I popped it up on a dimensional. So that's another way of doing this for your focal point. And then there's my Z-fold again. And on this one, I did decorate one panel. And then again, you can always do a message here too, which is kind of nice if you want to go ahead and decorate that inside. But it's another great way. It's a super easy full, but again, it's kind of a unique way of giving a card to someone. So there's that one. And then these are older ones, but I wanted to show you some other ways of doing this. So here's another one where I did more of it in the center, and I just did a circle, and this is a retired set. But so again, this one it's opening up this way, and then my fold comes out that way. So again, there's lots of variations on how you can do this one. So it's kind of fun. So there's that one. And then on this one, same thing. I'm opening it up the long way. But now I did my, excuse me, my window, I did a die cut behind it. And then again, same thing. This part comes out. Now there I did attach the circle onto that Z-fold. But yeah, so there's a variety of ways on how you can create this fold. But we're going to get started. Like I said, I'm going to show you a variation of this one, the portrait, and then a variation of the landscape one. And we'll be doing the Simply Zinnia set today. All right. And one thing before I forget, so what's today? Today's Sunday. I come back from traveling. August 6th, 2024, we're going to have some of our select designer series paper is going to be on sale. And of course, I just reordered a bunch of packets. Like never fails. But I did get free shipping last month when I did it. So, and then also in August, if you received any of your bonus coupons, you want to make sure that you get those redeemed during August. So those will expire, and you would have gotten an email with your coupon code. So, all right, we're going to start. I think we'll start with this one. Okay, so we're going to do that note card. And like I said, it comes with the envelopes, which is kind of nice, and they're nice thick envelopes too. Okay, so in this one, I think it was for your pieces, since you're going to have one, it's your note card. So again, this is just a 5.5 by 8.5 folded in half. So that's the note card. And then for my pull-out piece, which is a piece of cardstock, this is going to be 5.25 by 8.5, and then we're going to score it 2.25 and 4.5. And then you'll need some designer series paper, and these are going to be both 2 by 5, and you can do 1 to 2 designs. Again, this is that wildly flowering. And again, if you want to decorate the back, you would want to cut 2 more then. But I'm just kind of focusing on the front right now. And then basically, however you want to do your focal point. So on this one, I punched out a circle with the designer series paper, and then I did a circle with cardstock because it's overhanging. I wanted it to have a little bit of stability. So I've got the same size, and I'm using the 2 3/4 inch circle punch for this card. So I've already got my circle and my designer series paper already punched out. And then whatever you want to do for your embellishments, like I said, I'm doing the Simply Zinnia, and I've already got all my little pieces just to save on time created and die cut and colored and stuff. And I do have a video where I did oh my gosh, I think it was one of my pop-out fun folds, but I did a whole video on explaining how to assemble and put together these flowers. So we're going to do our scoring first. Look at that. Okay, so we are going to score on the long side at 2.25 and 4.5. Let's see here. Yeah, I was for my work job. So we put on conferences, and we were in Memphis. Wow, that was hot and muggy. Oh, my hair didn't do anything for a week. It was bad. All right, so 2 1/4 and 4 1/2. And that is it for the scoring, since we're using those note cards. So again, since this is going to be on the inside of your card, you're going to do basically folding your card backward. So we're doing a valley fold, and then this flap will be a mountain fold because it comes back. So we'll do this one first. And it is going to be, it's not going to the edge. So when you see that, don't freak out. That's how it's supposed to be. Oops, maybe if I fold straight here. Oops. Oh, what did I do? There we go. See, I'm out of the stamp room for a few months or a few weeks, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Okay, so that's your valley, and then this one is going to come back. Now this is going to be flush with the edge of the card. So that's your reverse Z fold on that. And that's it. So then we can go ahead and attach our DSP panel. So again, these were 2 by 5, and you can have 1 to 2 designs. And I think because my pop-out piece, I'm doing this print. So I'm going to have the Moody Mauve one be my first panel. So I'm just going to put adhesive on the back of this. Yeah, initially, this paper, I was like, I don't know. It's kind of like old lady-ish. I don't know. But it actually, it grew on me. It's very pretty. It's an elegant print. So not as old lady as I thought it was going to be. And these in colors, of course, they'll be retiring in 20, oh my gosh, is it 25? Yeah, 25. I'm kind of bummed because I do like them now. It's like funny how everything kind of it just takes time and stuff grows on you. All right, so then this is going to go on here. They make great, because I love fall. So these would be good fall colors too for a floral arrangement. All right, and then we're going to grab our note card. So again, I'm making this the portrait one. And then you're going to put adhesive on the back, and then that just layers onto your inside of your white of the note card. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put adhesive on the back of this. And I did Mossy Meadow for my cardstock, which is in our neutral family. Okay, so remember the Z fold is going to be on your right side, and then this card is opening up this way. So you just want to get this centered on the inside. Okay, now we're going to do our circle punch, and again, this is that 2 3/8 circle punch. So I'm going to flip this over, and I put it in so that the punch is all the way, or the paper is all the way to the back of the punch, but instead of having this be lined up flush with the edge, I bring it in just a little bit, like a 1/2 inch. And again, you can put this anywhere, but this is kind of like where I've been focusing that circle to be. Okay, so then this piece I'm going to use, and we'll put this on the inside eventually. Now, I already punched out. This is that same punch that I did my cardstock, and then I did a piece of the Designer Series paper. So I'm just going to layer these together just to give me a little bit of stability, because it's going to be overhanging a bit on the edge of that Z fold. And really, it doesn't matter what color this cardstock is. I just grabbed the Moody Mauve because it was in my scrap drawer. Okay, Then what you want to do is keep this folded, close the card, and then you'll want to line this up so that you know exactly where that window, your circle needs to be for the window. And then you just kind of position, depending on your pattern, which direction you want your pattern going. So I think I'm going to do that because then I can have my flower be off to here. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this in place. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm just going to take a pencil and make a mark so that I know how far over to put my adhesive. So all of this now can be adhesive. And then I'll go ahead and remove my pencil line. I'll just erase that. Okay, so then keep this closed. And I would say, I always like to use my silicone mat, but it pulls the foil off of the card for some reason. So I have to be careful. I'm like, can I put that down there? All right, so now I don't have any adhesive here, so that's going to be on my left side. And I'm just going to position this through the window, and then I'll pop this up. And so now you've got that circle on the edge of your Z-fold to make your little peekaboo card. Doo, doo, doo. So cute. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and we'll attach our flower. So I have already done a bunch of my flowers here. And I'll show you really quick here. So when you're die cutting the Zinnia, so there's two different dies, okay? One has like these little, what I call like the little pointy kind of like feet. And then the other one is a little bit wider petals on some of them. This is the bottom one. And then I like to keep these little, what I call the feet, little dancing feet. I like to keep those at the bottom. And then here, there's this little kind of like curved point. I keep that to the left. And then I just kind of off center it like so. And that's how I get that nice full. And then I always like to kind of either use my bone folder or I just kind of use my fingers to flick it. And that way it gives it a little bit of shape. And then the die that cuts out this flower, I also do this where I put this behind, not stamped, it's just die cut out. And then that way you can get another kind of color too and kind of fills in your flower. But that's how you're putting it together. So that's what I did here. I did the Moody Mauve and I did do a little bit of my blending brush. I just kind of darkened up the flower a little bit to give it some shading. And then I did the Wild Wheat for this little piece. And then the center die cut, I did Early Espresso, and then I just took a white gel pen. And then what I did is I took my bone folder just to kind of curl these. And that way it just gives it a little bit of shape and some dimension. So on this, I'm going to do it dimensional. And I'm going to have this just kind of sitting off to the edge because I don't want it, when you open it, you don't want to see that dimensional. So I'm just going to put one, I'm going to keep it a little bit closer to the bottom of my flower. And then I can go ahead and attach this to the front here so that when I open the card, you're not seeing that dimensional in there, okay? And then we'll go ahead and take, let's see here, I've got a bunch of stuff already die cut. So I think for my inside, I was gonna have, and I always like to kind of open it up and see what it looks like. So I'm gonna have this kind of tucked behind. And then I think, or I've also got this one. might do that just to bring in the brown, because I'm going to have the green down here. Yeah, I might do that. And it's already put together. So on this one, again, you have the bottom, and I did, that's mossy meadow, but on this one I did the early espresso. And then I like to do, it has these two dies, and they're two different shapes. I like to put this one in the back, and then this one layers on top of it to kind of give you that two-dimension look. And on these, since they're pretty tiny, I just use my liquid glue to, I put a little bit there, and then I place this one on top, and then on the flower, I just put a little bit of glue here, and then that attaches then right on the bottom here, like so. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the brown, because then I'm going to have my leaves here be the green, so we'll do that. And these are the die cut leaves, and then I also, within this set, it also does the, where you can stamp and color them too, and then die cut them out. But we will do, put a little bit, put these here. And when you're gluing these down, you want to be careful, again, that you don't glue, you know, through that window. So I think if I have it like that, I also wanted to bring in a little bit of this branchy thing. So I'm just going to put, I'm not going to put glue on this edge, because that's the piece that's kind of peekabooing through that window. Have this, so you can see a little bit showing, and then this one we'll have it going that way, and I think that one won't really peek through, so it should be okay. So there's that, and then we're going to take this little branch and I think I've got my tiny little flowers here somewhere, because I was going to try and bring in some of the misty moonlight, because I'm going to have some blue on the inside of my cards. I'm just going to try and tie in the blue. Let's see here. Blue, and there's some pink. There we go. Yeah, I can't believe it's like August. Oh man, the summer. I feel like I didn't even get to do anything. And then the holiday mini is coming out in September. I'm like, oh my goodness. I still haven't used up all my stamp sets from the annual catalog, or our last, the new online exclusive stamps that came out. It's like, I can't keep up. All right, and then these, I do like to add just a little bit of these flowers around here. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. And I'm doing an odd number, so we'll just have, let's see, we'll do one here. Here and here, and there. So these little things, it die cuts out of the Zinnia die set. It's this die, and it cuts out those 5 little tiny flowers on it. So I know sometimes some of these little dies, it's like, oh yeah, don't lose them. All right, we'll do a blue. And let's see here, we'll do a pink, another blue, I like to use my pick tool a lot of times just to help pick these up. There we go. So it just kind of brings in that blue that's in that paper. And then here, I was going to do the brown on this one. So this is going to be kind of peekabooing through the window as well. And then I can do a little bit of the gems as well. And I've got, let's see here. We've got those, or I have, I think I may want to bring in some blue. I think that's too bright. Or maybe I just do, you know what, I'm going to do, just do this neutral color. Do a little bit of that. So let's do two here, a big one and a little one. Because I've got my 3, 1, 2, and then my flower is that third. I always tell people, like, kind of do a triangle to help with your eye when you're looking at a card for designing. All right, so that's the front. And then you can still see that there. And then the circle that we punched out, I am going to stamp on this one with my, I think I'm going to do, and this is another new set. This is the online exclusives. So there's everyday greetings, and then there's greetings of the season. And they coordinate well, because the birthday, I was like, there's no happy. And then I realized the happy, they make you buy 2. It's in this other one. So of course I had to get both of them because I wanted happy and birthday. But I am going to be doing, instead I'm going to be doing birthday wishes. So I'm using everything out of this everyday greeting set. But these are both, again, the online exclusives. And these, I think I will do the color. Oh, sorry, this blocks hit this glass mat. I think I will keep it in the brown. So we're going to do the espresso. Okay. And then we're going to try and stamp straight. So we'll do birthday. And then the wishes. Perfect. Okay, that's that. All right, and then this will go, and I like to do it so you can kind of see a little bit of the gold peeking out. But totally however you wanna do it. Yeah, I gotta get this off because it catches on that gold, metallic gold. I have it, that looks pretty centered, so we'll do that. And then I'm going to take a flower. So again here, just to kind of give it a little bit of color on this side, I did have blue, but I'm thinking I may put that here and then put this one over here. Where do I want that there? Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Oh, that kind of gets lost on that green though. See, I should have done this on the brown. I do have a wild wheat. just pop that up. I wonder if I've got another. Sorry, as I sit here and mumble to myself. Let's see here. I'm looking for another one that's already die cut. I don't have to. Oh, here we go. Perfect. See, there's a reason why I do all this die cutting. Okay, I'm going to switch this because this green just gets lost against the same color. So we'll do one more flower. And then I'm going to do this on wild wheat for my base. This all goes in here. Like so. I think I got a little bit of ink up here. And then here, just to bring in that blue, I am going to just do my little stamped one. So I will put this down. And I did the boho blue, pecan pie, and then wild wheat to make my zinnia. And then the leaves were mossy meadow on the Stampin' blends. So we'll have it kind of like so. Put that in there. All right, so that is the portrait size of the reversed, the Peekaboo card, reverse Z-fold is kind of what I'm calling it. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's do our landscape one. And on this one, we're going to use our Stipple Plaid, which is another, it's a background stamp, and I love it, but oh my gosh, I hardly ever use it. So I'm trying to force myself into using all these stuff that you buy, and then you're like, oh, I'm just going to sit there and look at it and not use it. All right, we're going to do this one. So this is the landscape. Same concept. So on here, your pieces. Now here I'm doing both cardstock, so I'm not using a note card for this one. I'm using the cardstock. So my cardstock for the outside is just your normal 4 1/4 by 11. So it's just a half a sheet, you know, you just cut your cardstock in half. And then we're just going to fold that in half like normal. Then the inside for the Z-fold, this is 4 by 10 1/2. And then we're going to score it 2 5/8 and 5 1/4. Then for my outside, I'm doing designer series paper, and then I'm just using some scraps, you know, we all have those, to do my layering. And then we're going to punch out our window, and when you punch out the window, you can use that designer series paper for your focal point. And then again, I attach it onto a piece of cardstock, because you are going to be getting that cardstock and you're getting the designer series paper. So when you go to put this paper down, don't put adhesive all over it, because you're going to be punching out that window, and you want to be able to take those two pieces separately when they punch out. All right, so the strips, again, these are just a 1/2 inch, and these can be whatever you want, but they're a 1/2 inch by 5 1/2, and you need 2 of them. The design, this is for the front, so this one I did 2 1/2. It all depends on what you're doing for your punches, and this was actually a die. This one I made it a little bit wider, so instead of 2 1/2, I did 2 3/4, but it's still 5 1/2. So again, you can, however wide you want that, you can do. Excuse me. And then these are for the inside for your Z-fold pull-out, and those are going to be 2 3/8 by 3 3/4, and again, they can be the same design, or you can do 2 different designs. So we'll go ahead and get our scoring done first. Pull this out of the way. All right, so this was our outside, our cards, you know, the outside part of the card. So this is just folded in half. So this will be, it's 11 inches long. So we're going to fold it in half at 5.5. Make our score. And then that will just be folded. We've got our landscape. And then this is the, for the inside, for the Z fold. Again, it was 4 by 10.5. And we're going to score at 2 5/8 and 5 1/4. And then that is it for the scoring. All right, so same thing. We're going to fold this in half. Now this one, it does meet in the middle, where the other one it didn't. And then this comes back to make our Z fold. Reverse. And then we'll go ahead and put our Designer Series paper. So when I am, because I want, yeah, I'm going to have this be here, because my focal piece, I'm going to use this other side. Got a little bit of contrast. So again, this is that Wildly Flowering Designer Series paper, and this is kind of like a Misty Moonlight, a Wild Wheat, a little bit of, you know, you can do early espresso, pecan pie kind of works with it. And actually the boho blue is a nice complementary, you know, like this side is kind of what I call more boho blue. It's a little bit lighter than that, but yeah, really pretty paper. I should have done this side. Oh well. Next card. Okay, and we'll have this be over here. And again, if you want to decorate those back panels, you certainly can. Okay. And then before I put this in, I want to stamp my stipple plaid in the background. So if you, again, this is a big background stamp. So if you still have your Stamparatus or you have another stamping platform, I would recommend using that when you're using our big background stamps. Otherwise, you can always take like your brayer and use that, you know, lay the cardstock on top of the stamp and then kind of use your brayer to help ink it up. But I am using my Stamparatus because I still have it. All right, so let's get a little bit of room here. So I think I have this set up. Some of this stuff. Okay. Oops. So I already kind of positioned this on here. All right, so we're going this way, and I always just spot check to make sure it is kind of, because the first time I did it, I had it up too high, and so like the top part didn't get inked up. So I want to make sure that I'm hitting all of the plaid marking. So I'm kind of holding it here, and then I'm just going to close it. And I use my little stamping press, little Etsy find. All right, so now this is, and I have a sticky mat down here so my paper doesn't shift around, and then I still have my magnets holding this in place. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and ink this up, and I'm just doing the same color ink pad as the paper. So this is Misty Moonlight. Make sure I'm all inked up good. Okay, that looks good. this is all ready to go. So we're keeping it closed. And then I'll use my Stampin' Press tool. Yeah, this is great, like if you have arthritis, which I do. This thing comes in handy for all these big stamps. All right, so now there is our fun little plaid background. That is done. We'll bring our card pieces back. Yeah, I don't know why I don't use more of this. And then you can like take your markers if you want to draw additional plaid lines to it. It's kind of fun. All right, so now let's go ahead, because you know we're going to be making that window. So I'm first going to, because I want this on the front, so I want to have my little bit of layering. So I'm going to do just a very narrow line of glue here, just to hold my cardstock strips in place. And then using my glass mat and my kind of grid here, I always just to hold this so I know I'm adhering this somewhat straight. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing for the other one. Just making sure I'm straight. There we go. I got a little bit of glue in there. Okay. All right. So then there is, I'm off just a titch, but let's see how that lines up. Yes, that's fine. Okay, now when I go to put this on, because we're going to be punching here, and I want to make sure, so on my first one, my original one, I did a die, but I was going to try and use this, the Heartfelt Hexagon, and I just want to see when I'm doing this, is that going to be somewhat in the center? It's, where's that punching? Yeah, I may have to do a die, because that's going to hit. It's not hitting where I want it. So I should have done, because I did this one a little bit wider, I should have done this at the 2.5 and not the 2 3/4. But that's okay. I can also do, I wonder if I do my, where's my 2-inch? Let's see what this looks like. That's gonna be too big too, so we will need to do our die. Well, that's okay, because this will work. Yep, that'll be fine. Okay, so we're going to die cut this really quick before I attach it. So I do need to get, before I do the die, oh my goodness, this is heavy. Hold on here. Oh, so sorry. Gotta move some things around. Make room for this. Okay. Because as I said, we're making that window, so we do need to put this on so that you're punching out the cardstock and you're punching out the Designer Series paper. So I'm really only going to focus my glue on these cardstock strips, and then I will put a little bit here on the edges, but I'm not really putting much here for the most part, because when I die cut, I don't want those pieces to be stuck together. And since I'm die cutting, I can just put this in the center however I want it. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now we need to open it up, because because we are going to make our window, and we're punching through the cardstock and the designer series paper. Let's come out a little bit. Okay, I need all right. So go ahead and position this the die where you want it. And I'm just going to hold it in place with some low tack tape. Punch this through. And sometimes, like with your punches, when you're going through multiple layers, it does get a little tough to punch, but sometimes your dies work pretty good. Take this off. Alright, so, oh gosh, so sorry. Totally whacked that with my hand. Alright, so now we've got our the cardstock, and we have the paper. So that's why I didn't want those all glued together, because I wanted the two pieces to be separate. Because I'm using them in two different areas on the card. Okay, so that's that. All right, then let's zoom back in here. Okay, so now we can go ahead and put our Z-fold in the inside. So we'll go ahead and we can put adhesive all over the back side of this card. And this was crumb cake for my base. And again, I've got the Misty Moonlight was the other color from this one. And we'll center this. Okay, then my Peekaboo, I'm now going to use the back side of this die, or of this paper. And the only thing, sometimes because this die had stitching, it is picking up a little bit of that cardstock in the stitching, because we're on the back side of this paper, but it just adds a little bit of texture and color to it, so it's all good. And I am going to do this as a thank you card. Where did all my, oh yeah, here it is. I need my flowers. Need, let's see here, we'll probably do this one, and I think for my center I'm going to do a little bit of blue, and we will bring in, got a little pecan pie. All right, and there's Miss Ezera. She's missed everyone. Oh my gosh, when I came home after being gone for a week, she was so excited to see me. That's like the best feeling ever. Coming home to your puppies that love you. They're always so excited. Oh, I want this to be a birthday. You know what? I'm going to do a birthday, because I think I've got quite a few coworkers who have August birthdays, so I better do this as a birthday. I think I'm still going to do this in early espresso for my saying. So this saying is actually from the Encircled in Nature stamp set, which is another online exclusive. I would show you the set, but I don't know where. I think I've got it set aside. All right, so this is May This Year Be Incredible and Filled with Possibilities. So I am just going to put all of this on here for my, make sure that's all good. There's that. then this time for the inside, instead of the birthday wishes, I am going to switch this out and do the happy. Which now I'm trying to think, does this one have a cursive happy? No. So I'm going to be using from the other one, the greetings of the season. I'm going to, because I don't think there's a happy. Oh, there is. I'm going to do that cursive one then. Let's see here. I'll do that for my inside. And then a lot of times, like with the sayings, I always use my my grid to help. I just line it up so it's straight, and then I put my block on there. And that kind of helps get that image on there straight. Okay, so that'll be for the inside. So now this, because it's going to be overhanging, I'm going to attach, because I want to be able to see that plaid on the reverse side. I'm going to attach it to this cardstock just to give it a little bit of stability. Because the designer series paper is a little bit thinner than our cardstock. So, and since this is overhanging, I don't want it to be flimsy. No wimpy cards in Linda's world. Okay, so same thing as last time. I keep this closed, and then I just line this up so that I know where my, of course, then I move it, where it should be placed, holding it. And then I just take a pencil, and you don't have to do this, it's just me, so I just know where my glue needs to go. And then I'm only putting glue on that half that isn't overhang, or the part that's overhanging does not have glue. And then we'll close it again. And then again, I just keep it closed. I wedge it in there, and that way I know exactly where that focal point needs to be. All right, so then that is that little Z-fold. All right, so let's go ahead and decorate. And I will do this one. I am going to do the flower. And I wanted to give this a little bit so it's not so stark. I'm going to take our Stampin' blends, and I was using the crumb cake. Sorry, I got a disaster zone over here to the right of me. It's driving me nuts. I cannot stamp when it's like craziness, where there's stuff everywhere. I can't do it. All right. Making sure these are both, yeah, these are crumb cakes. So I'm just going to take, I think the light is really what I need. So again, here's that little point. I keep that to my left. That's my bottom piece. And then the one that's got these like little pointy feet, I keep that at the bottom, and this is going to be the top one. And I'm just going to take the light crumb cake, and where these little cut lines are on the petals is I'm just going over that with the marker just to give it a little bit of depth, and so it's not so stark white, and it kind of keeps in alignment with the designer series paper, the white flowers, because it has a little bit of the wild honey and the wild wheat and the pecan pie kind of early espresso look to it. All right, so we'll go ahead and then put glue here. So this is my bottom piece. And then this is the top one. And again, I just kind of tilt it a little bit. And I just kind of hold that in place, let the glue dry. And then I like to take the bone folder, turn it over, and I just curl it like you do like when you're curling a ribbon. And this is just giving my petals a little bit of dimension. And then same thing as last time, we'll do a little dimensional. on the flower because again, it's kind of hanging out here on the corner. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just glue it. Yeah, I think I can just glue that one because it already has a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to use a liquid glue just to make sure it's held in place, doesn't fall off. And I need to do this so you can still kind of see the saying. We'll just kind of wedge it over here. Okay, that looks good. All right, and then this part, to finish off our flower, I did this in Misty Moonlight. This is that little ring of flowers. And we're just going to put that here. And I've seen this both ways where people have this on the top and then the center put down first, but I kind of like this look too, so however you want to do it. And then I'd like to put a dimensional on the center part of the flower. And this is pecan pie that I did. All right, and then I think I will take my white gel pen and just do a little accent on those lines on the flower. And then I think for my I did have a leaf. I'm wondering if I should put one leaf on here. We'll just leave it. I don't really have another one cut that way. Okay, so now let's do, I think we'll put one of these in here. This one's already made up, so we'll just, this has the wild wheat. I did a little bit of Night and Navy and Misty Moonlight. Do our happy birthday, so we'll just kind of have this right about there. Go down. And I think I will still use the espresso on this too. Keeping that in there. We're going to do a happy. Let me bring this in. Yeah, this is such a pretty font. I just love this. I really like this set. It's like a nice cursive that you can read. I know sometimes some of those fonts there, they can get a little harder to read. And then I'm just going to bring this over like so. Oh, I got a little bit on there. Press too hard. All right, and that's when we call in another flower to cover that little boo-boo. See, even the demonstrator goofs up once in a while. Let's see, do I have another little tiny flower? Yeah, I might do some of these. Okay. See, you can fix almost anything. Let's pull in, do one of these. Just looking for some of these other little flowers here. Okay. position this so that I cover up that my big blob. Okay. This. So you know one is going here. Oh gosh. See what happens when you don't stamp for a while? Do there. And there. Problem solved on that one. There. I covered up my boo-boo. Perfect. And since I've got another one of these, I am going to make one more flower. And I'll do that, but I'm wondering, should I do... Yeah, we'll do that with the white as the top. Okay. See, you just die cut a bunch of stuff, and that way you've got options. All right, so this is always the bottom one, or at least what I like to put on the bottom, and then this other kind of funky shaped one is the top. And that goes right on the base. And then I like to just put, you know, another flower here. Actually, no, because I should have done that on the navy. Maybe I will put it over here. So we'll have this one kind of, we'll have it kind of going right here on the bottom. Like so. And then since I have these, I think I may just put some of these down here. These are nice, they're flat. Ugh, now it's stuck to my glass mat. Ah, the struggle is real right now. Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh, I can't get it off. There we go. Slide it off. There we go. Ugh, goodness gracious. Okay. Okay, let's see. Just to give it a little bit of... Okay, maybe just put him here. Do one there. Oh, there comes Mr. Jeff coming down. I don't know if I like that there. All right, so that is the two different ways you can do the reverse Z-fold Peekaboo card. So you've got the landscape way and the portrait using the Simply Zinnia stamp set and the Wildly Flowering Designer Series paper. So thanks again for stopping by and watching. I will be doing some other tutorials coming up later this month, so stay tuned and make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks again. Bye-bye.